This is A Better Way Financial, the podcast with financial advisors and father-son team Frank and Frankie Guida.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Frank and Frankie asking for their insight on ways you can work now to better prepare for your financial future. BetterWayFinancial.com is where you can go to start that conversation about your retirement savings plan. We also have links posted in the show notes, or again, find us at ABetterWayFinancial.com. All right, fellas, I want to talk to you about our 401ks because, I know not every American has one, but it feels like a lot of us have a 401k.
Very popular.
And when it comes to who's messing with our 401k, apparently we need to all go take a good long look in the mirror. This article on MarketWatch was literally titled, "The Number One Enemy of Your 401k May Be You." So let's unpack this because it was talking about everyday people like you and me, how we are pushing more and more into the risk of the market because despite some volatility that we've seen lately, I don't have to explain to you the past 13 years, we've just seen up and up and up and up and up. However, it's one sign that the market could actually turn. And it also said in this article, no matter your portfolio construction, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, whatever, quote, the superpower of these portfolios is their fixed proportions. So through our working years, the important part is the growth side, but now we're getting to retirement and it's the protection side that's so important. So how do you guys go about figuring out the right number of risk versus protection in the portfolios and the plans that you build?
Well, we do it, Heather, by explaining to folks how the markets actually work.
Well,
We show them history.
Yeah.
History doesn't necessarily say, okay, this is exactly how it's going to happen in the future, but it gives us a real good idea of what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to go from the year 2000 forward because, you've got some ups and downs in the markets along that way. You're not just looking at the market rising like over the last 13 years because that's kind of, it's not likely to continue forever.
Right.
So we want to look at the downs in the markets too. And then you have to consider stage of life investing. If you look at 2000, 2001, 2002, boom, 3 negative years in the market. That market went down 50%. It comes back, and then the market 2008, boom, goes down 50% again. And then it comes back. That's a 13-year span where the market, in 2000, January 2000, the S&P 500 was exactly the same as what it was in January 2013. Mm-hmm. So if you were in your accumulation stages of life, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you're accumulating money. It doesn't matter. You go through that period of time, but then boom, you had that next 13 years where you have tremendous growth. You've averaged really, really good growth. Mm-hmm. The problem is in your retirement years, if you're starting and you're retiring in 2000 and all of a sudden the market goes down 50% over 3 years, your money actually goes down considerably more than that in retirement. And the reason is because now you're taking money out.
Right.
You put it there to supplement your income.
Right.
So now you're taking it out. So your money went down further. And when the market comes back, your money doesn't come back as strong because you're still taking money out. And then boom, when the market gets hit again and your money's going down at a worse than a 50% like it did in 2008, but you're taking money out, you can run the risk of running out of money. So that's not good. That's why you need to have a portion of your money in safe investments and a portion of your money in the market because the market over time has consistently, shown that historically that it's had the best average returns. But then it also has these big declines.
Right.
So what you want to do is when the market goes down, if you have safe money, you can draw your income from your safe money. And if the market's up, you can draw your income from the market money. And when people start to realize this and they start looking at history, they start seeing things a different way.
So that is one of the things that we look for is explaining how the markets work. The next thing that we do is we want to gauge what is their personal risk tolerance because not everybody's the same.
Right.
You might have somebody who's had a really bad experience in the market. In 2008 happened, they lost a large portion of their portfolio and then they put it all in cash and they just had a really bad experience. Mm-hmm. You might have other people who, were still saving during that time and they're like, okay, I understand that the market's crashed, but they always have historically come back. Mm-hmm. So it really varies based off of the person. And during the time that we meet with you, we find out what is your personal risk tolerance? If 2008 happens again and the stock market goes down by 50%, what is the most you can tolerate losing in your portfolio? And that is how we determine how much of your money we should have at risk and how much of your money you should have safe.
Okay.
If you have a very low risk tolerance, we're going to have more on the safe side.
Right.
If you have a very high risk tolerance, you're going to have more on the risk side of things. So it's really about knowing, what is someone's personal connection with the market, with risk, and where do they start to feel uncomfortable? Because when you're a financial planner, rule number one of financial planning is you never want somebody to lose more money than they feel comfortable with.
Right.
So you have this conversation, you find out where that level is, and then it's our job to make sure that they never get to that level.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of helping for folks who either want to take too much risk because they want such a high return.
Sure.
And we also have the folks that are so afraid of the market, they want to take too little risk. So helping them understand how these markets work actually helps a lot.
Yeah.
We had this couple, he was 72 and she was 70. They were both retired. Wonderful, wonderful people. But on a scale of 1 to 10, their risk score on their portfolio was 1.6. Ultra conservative.
Got it.
I mean, these people were earning very, very little, like very close to 3% interest per year. And you know what? They could afford to take on a little bit more risk.
Sure.
We showed them to a little bit more risk, get them in a 3.1, which is still a very low risk portfolio. They can average 7.79%, or at least that's what it's done since the year 2000. And that gives them a portfolio they can do something with. They can earn some funds.
Yeah, and that'll make a huge difference for them because if you're earning, more than double the return you're currently earning, you're going to be able to spend more in your retirement. You're going to be able to enjoy more, go on more trips, do more of the stuff that you've saved this money for. And one thing that was bad for them was inflation because they've saved a good amount of money. They saved about $500,000 for their retirement, but they're not getting a lot of interest, and the cost of everything is continuing to go up. So they need to be able to hedge off some of that inflation. So that's something that we showed them to do by setting up their portfolio where they can get a better rate of return.
Okay.
And they were like, I don't like the market. I don't want a lot of my money in the market. So we said, okay, well, here's your position. You have about $500,000 saved. We'll put about $120,000 in the market. And then the rest of it we'll keep in a safe position. So this is something that we're looking into. This is what we do to be able to try to set people up so that they don't have to worry about the market. We've seen market volatility over the past, I'd say month or so, where it's been, people have been worried. What's going on with the market? I see that the market had this huge market crash. Are we going to be okay? Is our portfolio going to be okay? We've had one client call us. We've hundreds of clients. We've had one person call us so far saying, I'm worried about the markets. I'm worried about the markets. And it's because we set their portfolios up the right way. It's because we show them how much risk they're taking, and we make sure that they're never in a position that they're going to lose more than they feel comfortable with.
Okay.
So it makes them feel safe and secure about their investments. And when there are market crashes, we explain this is something that is part of the market. The markets are going to have crashes, and you're set up so that you don't have to worry as much about them because you're not going to go down as far as the overall market because of the way that we're positioning your portfolio.
Got it. Yep.
With this couple in particular, they had a ton of kids, 6 kids.
Wow.
They enjoy working on their home, renovations, riding motorcycles, and spending time with the family. A lot of family to go around. So they enjoyed doing that. Their vision of a successful retirement would be taking more cruises, spending more time with their children and with their grandchildren, and that's what we showed them they were going to be able to do. They were currently living on about $50,000 of income per year, and we were able to show them by setting up their portfolio the right way, by being able to show them how to get a higher projected rate of return, saving them money in taxes over the course of their lifetime, they were going to be able to live on $45,000 more of income per year. So instead of $50,000 of income, we were able to show them how they could live on $95,000 of income every single year projected for the rest of their life.
Wow.
Just taking that little bit more risk meant so much to them.
By setting up the portfolio the right way and saving money in tax, all of it together, doing the financial planning, doing the retirement plan, made a huge difference. And they didn't need to have millions and millions of dollars. They had $500,000, and this was able to make a difference for them. So if you have these concerns, if you don't know where that next paycheck is going to come from in your retirement, if you don't know how to set up your portfolio so that you're going to be able to get potentially more income than you had when you were working because of inflation, because of risk, you need to make sure that you're set up so that you're not going to have to worry about the stock market when the next market crash is going to happen. Have your portfolio set up so that you don't have to worry about what's going on when there's a recession, when there's a market decline. Go to abetterwayfinancial.com and click on the sign up now button so we can have this conversation with you.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so if it's more convenient, you can just click there, which will take you to our website, which is, again, abetterwayfinancial.com.
Thanks for listening to A Better Way Financial, the podcast with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com and join the Guidas for the radio show, A Better Way Financial, Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 12:30 on News Radio 790 WAEB. By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.